Yo, what's good, y'all? The holidays are here, so in spirit of the holidays, I wanted to put together a really quick gift guide for us filmmakers. So whether you're a filmmaker looking to pick something up for yourself or you're the significant other of a filmmaker, all of these items are things that I use on a regular basis that directly tie into the filmmaking process. They're all under or around $100. Honestly, I haven't even looked at the prices of a lot of these things. They might be $25 over, $30 over, $10 over, whatever. It's just not gonna look cool in the title if I put filmmaking items all under $127. So keep that in mind. Also, to be completely transparent, the links that are gonna be down below for these items are affiliate links. So if you click these links and you purchase one of these items, I'm gonna get kickback from it at no additional cost to you. But the good thing is you get to support the channel and the content I'm making to be able to bring you these sorts of videos, man. So let's dive straight into this holiday gift guide, filmmaking items under $100. Let's get into it. The first item, absolutely love it. I stand by it, I use it all the time. Some people don't like this item and I'm aware of that, but it's Black Pro Mist. Now, Black Pro Mist is a diffusion filtration for your lens to give you a softer image, and it lifts the contrast volume of the shot that you're filming. I love it. I just went on like a hiatus where I didn't use Pro Mist for like the past month. And I just put it back on and I'm like, yo, why in the world did I stop using this? So it's meant to be used for certain scenarios, but I pretty much use it for everything. I love Pro Mist. I feel like it just gives the image an overall more filmic look. The roll off between the shadows and the highlights is just a lot softer and more gradual. And it also just blooms out certain spots in your shot that are blown out. So if you have a window like this, it's just gonna be a little bit softer than if you didn't have it on. It's a lot of different strengths of Pro Mist. I use 1/8, 1/4. Those are my two that I stick to. I don't usually go higher than that. I feel anything beyond that is just more stylistic than I would like it to be. I like it to be subtle, something that's not really noticeable, but just gives me that extra oomph when I'm doing my color grading and just, I don't know, I feel like the style of it is just cool. So Black Pro Mist is dope. It comes in a bunch of different strengths, like I said, and you can also just figure out what thread size you need for your lens. I have 82, I have 77. I feel those are big enough, and then anything beyond that that's smaller that I need, I'll just use step-up rings. So I'll link both of those down in the description below. The next thing is memory. Memory is one of those things that you can just never go wrong with. I'll wait until Black Friday or like the holiday season to purchase memory just because it goes for such good prices at this time. Now you can purchase either SD cards, you can purchase larger hard drives, or you can purchase SSDs. Those are like the three forms of memory that I purchase on a regular. On the side of bigger hard drives, I purchase those just specifically to hold footage on. I don't edit off of those because the drive speeds aren't as fast. SSDs, those are things that I keep on me all the time, and these typically just hold the current projects that I have to edit or get done. I love these because they're smaller. The write and read speeds on these are a lot faster than those bigger hard drives. At the $100 price point, you aren't going to be able to get the biggest SSD just because they're more expensive than those slower, bigger hard drives, but you'll be good. You know what I mean? It's perfect for holding current projects on it. And once I'm done editing my current projects, I just transfer that footage over into the bigger hard drives that have more space and are cheaper. So that's usually my methodology when I purchase my drives and my memory. When it comes to SD cards, it's an array, a bunch of different kinds of memory cards that you can purchase. I recommend purchasing micro SD cards because if you purchase the bigger ones, if they mess up, you're just flat out of luck. Whereas if you get the micro ones, if the adapter messes up, you can just basically find another adapter for the micro SD card. I've had regular SD cards mess up on me a ton of times, so this is why I stray away from them. And if I am gonna be using regular SD cards, I get the tough Sony ones. I think that they are great. The material of them is awesome. And these are things that I use on the regular. I don't see these messing up at all. So I'll leave links to those down in the description. I'm gonna stop saying that because everything that I'm gonna be talking about is gonna be down in the description. This next thing is something that I stand by. I love this because I do a lot of solo filmmaking, and also if I'm just gonna be handing my camera off to Tino to film behind the scenes for me, we don't want to be using like huge tripods. So this travel tripod that I'm going to be linking is something that I love. It's great. It's very minimal and lightweight. And I've even used this to vlog off of. Like in my last behind the scenes I did for Ace when I was walking around the building with the camera, I literally had the camera on that tripod. It's not heavy at all. And like I said, it's great for getting those simple compositions where you don't necessarily need to move the camera, but you don't want a big bulky setup and you don't want to have like a super fluid head tripod all the time. I like this because it's lightweight. I can strap it to my backpack, and if I'm ever filming myself or I need to get like a static shot or like maybe even a time lapse or a photo, This is great. I like it. It's very inexpensive. I think you should definitely check this out if you're in need of any sort of travel tripod. This one's awesome. This next thing isn't directly a filmmaking item, but if you do filmmaking, you more than likely do some form of editing. And this is incredible. This is the Logitech MX Master 3 mouse. It's awesome because it has a lot of customization that you can do when it comes to editing, and it's a lot better form factor wise than something like the Apple Magic Mouse, which is super flat. I like the Magic Mouse, don't get me wrong, but this is just better for your hand, and it's just, the fit of it is a lot more comfortable. Now, there's a couple of different things that you can do with this MX Master mouse. One is you can link it and connect it to 3 different devices, which is awesome. So at the bottom of it, it has 3 different connections that you can just kind of sift through depending on what device you're on. I use this for my MacBook Pro. I use this for my iMac. And occasionally, if my son wants to do some stuff on his iPad with the mouse, we'll connect it with this as well. So we have 3 different devices connected to it. It has a couple different buttons on it that you can customize depending on what program you're using. These 2 buttons right here where your thumb go are awesome. In Final Cut Pro 10, I have my front one set to cut, and then I have my back one set to delete. So if I ever need to cut and delete something, I don't have to take my hand off of the mouse or move my left hand on the keyboard to press something. It's all something that I can do seamlessly. And it just speeds up the editing process a lot more. And these scroll wheels are awesome as well. You have one by your thumb, which allows you to horizontally scroll the timeline. And then the vertical one, it has a button where you can either free scroll or you can switch it to a clicky tactile version, which is awesome. Then it also has a mission control button down here at the bottom, but you can customize as well. And the good thing about this is throughout the application, you can customize different applications to utilize these buttons in different ways. So you're in Lightroom and you want the thumb buttons to do something else, you can do that as well, which is awesome. So I like this mouse. I think it's incredible. And the really good thing about it that's way better than the Magic Mouse is that the charging port is on the front of it. What in the world, Apple? I don't understand why Apple put the charging port on the Magic Mouse under it. Every time the Magic Mouse dies on me, I just can't edit because it has to charge and the port's on the bottom of it. So yeah, this thing is incredible. They have a Mac specific version if you're on Mac. I haven't tried it, but I have noticed that on my older iMac, when I would try to use this, sometimes it would lag using the receiver. So if you're on Mac, I would recommend you just checking out the Mac version of it. But this has been awesome and it's been working really well on my MacBook Pro. I don't know if it's because it's closer to the computer and then there's no interference with the Bluetooth, but this mouse right here, I'm telling you, is a game changer. If you don't have one of these, you should definitely try to pick one of these up. These are awesome. This next one is something that I stand by heavily. Use these all the time. This is always in my backpack. This is the APUTURE MC. I've done a complete video about the APUTURE MC doing different music video lighting setups with it. It's awesome, it's portable. You can do full 360 hue adjustments for the color on it. It gets bright, it comes with a diffusion already included with it. It also has magnets on the back so it can attach to anything metal. If you're on the go, you need to slap this onto a mailbox, you need to slap this onto a C-stand really quick. It's just great, man. It's something that I use all the time, and just finding those little nooks and crannies and places that it can go, like swapping out a light bulb inside of a lamp for that, just to have the intensity adjustment to make sure it's not blown out in the shot. It's just awesome. So the APUTURE MC is definitely something that if you don't have one, you should for sure pick one up. I can't recommend this light enough. It's awesome. This might be one of the best items on this list, even though it wasn't technically supposed to be on this list. The sponsor of this video, Canva. Canva is an online design platform for us entrepreneurs in design, filmmaking, any space, and they have tons of templates that can help us in all facets of our business. So whether you need YouTube thumbnails, you need a logo design, you need a flyer design, you need a template to present a business proposal to the rest of your company, man, beyond this, they have so many more templates, and I feel like Canva is one of those platforms that it's just vital, man, and it just makes the process of designing stuff so easy. Now, aside from the tons of ways that you can use Canva, the ways that I love to use it is creating these short promotional pieces for music video artists after I finish their project to help them promote it in a more stylistic way. Basically, what you do is you just go on Canva and find an animated template that you like. You go in and you replace the video, the photo, the assets, and you just replace out the text to get it to exactly how you like it. And they also have animations that are built into Canva that you can select that just give it such a stylized look when it comes in. It's just awesome, man, and my artists love it, and it's so easy for me to make, and I like that so much. So Canva is completely free. You can try it out right now for no money down, but you really unlock the true potential of Canva when you try out the Pro subscription. Now, Canva Pro includes tons of different stock assets like video, photo. There's so many different things that you can utilize on the Canva Pro subscription. It's only $12.95 a month. And another really good thing about Canva Pro is if you have a team of 5 people, you can all use this exact same subscription and all of y'all can utilize it. So you really can't beat it for the price. So down in the description is gonna be a link over to Canva. My link will give you a trial of Canva Pro for an extended 45-day trial. So, try it out. I think that is vital. And I think once you use it, you'll definitely see. All right, so with that out of the way, let's hop into our next item, which is gaff tape. If you're a filmmaker, you got to use gaff tape. Gaff tape just works in so many different areas of filmmaking, and we use it a ton of different ways, whether we're trying to set an artist in place and tell them specifically on the floor where to stand to be framed up perfectly for a shot, or for us to be able to mount tube lights onto a wall or to a stand or to items that aren't. Like when we shot the shot of Ace in my garage, I literally just gaff taped the tube onto the bars for my garage door. Gaff tape is incredible, and the good thing about it is it doesn't leave residue on the things that it's stuck to. So that's why we use it for a lot of different things in filmmaking. You can't go wrong with gaff tape. I talk about it all the time, but I feel like it's one of those things you just have to have in your kit. You can't go wrong with a roll of gaff tape. The next thing is a C-stand. If you're a filmmaker, definitely get a C-stand. I know it can be cost efficient to pick up these really cheap Amazon stands, and I'm pointing this way because I literally have my microphones. I have my microphone on one and it freaking sucks and it tips over all the time. I know it can be cost efficient to pick up one of these, but C-stands are just rock solid. They protect your lights, they protect your gear. And if you don't have one, you should definitely pick one up. It's a couple different variations of the C-stand that you can get. It's a bunch of different companies. I'm gonna leave some links down in the description for some of the best ones and also the one that I personally use, but they aren't too much different. They fold out different sometimes. Some of them are better in that aspect, but as long as the stand is rock solid, it's definitely something that you should have. So pick up a C-stand, man. I highly recommend it. The next item is a Zoom H1. Now, what is a Zoom H1? A Zoom H1 is an audio recorder. I use an audio recorder. I use the Zoom H5, which is a bit overkill for me, but I need this one because I need the XLR input on it. The Zoom H1 isn't as advanced as this one. It doesn't have the XLR inputs, but the Zoom H1 is great, and I'm gonna tell you why. When I did my short film, The YouTuber, there were certain sound effects that I needed to capture. And I couldn't really rig up a full boom arm stand with a stand and all of that because it would have been in the shot. So what I did was I just used the built-in microphone in my Zoom H5 to capture those different sound effects. And it's awesome in that aspect. It's also really good if you're on set and you know you need to pick up a sound effect that you're gonna later need in an edit, or if you're trying to do an interview style for audio, or you just need to do some pickup audio that sounds a lot better than what's in camera. The Zoom H1 is awesome for that, man. And just being able to carry around an audio recorder and always have that on hand for if you need to capture a specific sound effect or a specific audio bite, it's awesome, man. And I feel like the price for it is definitely worth it. So definitely check out the Zoom H1. This next item is something that I stand by. If you do any sort of handheld work, this is vital because it gives your camera movement such a different dynamic than just holding it in your hands. It also helps you stabilize the footage a lot more. It just gives the handheld look such a better vibe to it. Top handles, man. The top handle that I'm using is from Condor Blue, and this is for NATO rails. It's a bunch of different variations of top handles that you can get. You can get RA style connection, you can get hot shoe connection, you can get NATO rail connection. The reason I like NATO rail connection is because whenever I'm trying to clean up my rig or I want to put it into a backpack or a bag really fast, I can just slide it off and all the attachments that are attached to it. So I like NATO rail, but if you have a DSLR or mirrorless camera, you just want to connect to the hot shoe, that's also a really clean cleanup as well. So if you don't have a top handle, definitely get one. It will give your handheld shake, your handheld footage, your handheld vibe such a better feel to it. And this next item is also vital, something I keep in my backpack and I use on a daily basis whenever I'm on set. This thing comes in handy. I'm not searching for a bunch of different tools. I just have this one tool on hand. This is the Red toolkit. Now this is specifically made for Red owners, but I've noticed that it works so well for every other owner as well. This one toolkit works for everything that I need it for, whether I need to adjust my top handle, whether I need to adjust my cage, whether I need to attach a tripod plate to the bottom of a camera or the Ronin plate to the bottom of the camera, or to take my monitor off of my top handle. This thing works for everything and I stand by it. And it's so cheap. For what it does, the quality of it is one of those must-have things in your backpack, man. If you don't have a red toolkit, definitely pick one up. So those are my 10 items under $100. I do have one honorable mention. I have 3 actually, but I'm just gonna touch on this one. If you do music videos like me, man, it's really important to have a really nice speaker. Like a really nice speaker that you can hear the bass, that you can hear the instruments, that you can get really nice and loud for the artist to hear and actually get into the performance. I use a BOSE speaker. I think it's called a REVOLVE. I don't know. I'll link it up. And I'll also link up the price. I think it's a bit more expensive than $100. But I feel like, man, if you're doing music video stuff, you definitely need a really nice speaker. I've had this one for a while. It has full 360 sound, so wherever you set it at, it's gonna reflect and do what it needs to do. And it's also a really good turn up item as well. Whenever I'm having a little house party, you know what I mean? I bring this joint out, it tends to go up, man. So definitely check out this BOSE speaker. It's gonna be linked down in the description as well. But with that being said, those are my items, my filmmaking items for my quick filmmaking gift guide. Make sure to check these things out if you're trying to pick up a gift for yourself, or if you have a significant other or a friend who's a filmmaker. These are gonna be incredible items. I stand by these and I use these on a daily, so none of these are gonna be BS. So check those links out down in the description. If you have any other questions, drop those down in the comment section below. If you're newer to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. But with that being said, I'm out, y'all. Peace.